In this video, we are going to learn about cell structures. But before we start, do you remember anything you've learned about cell structures in S1? Please write down any two of these things. First of all, let's take a look at the structure of an animal cell. This is an animal cell, and its outermost part is the cell membrane. The cell membrane is differentially permeable, which means that some things can pass through, but other things cannot. Therefore, the function of the cell membrane is to control the movement of substances into and out of the cell. We will learn more about this in Chapter 3. Next, we are going to look at the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a jelly-like fluid. It is a water-based environment. So being water-based, it is good because it allows many chemical reactions to happen. Also, it allows many substances to be transported among the cell, to be distributed among the inside of the cell. Next, we're going to look at a very important organelle or structure of the cell called the nucleus. It is bounded by a double membrane. We call this the nuclear membrane on the outside of the nucleus. The nucleus contains a very important chemical called DNA, and DNA contains our genetic information. This information will control the activities of the cell. For example, what types of other chemicals the cell needs to make, or when the cell starts to divide. The next structure we're going to look at is in the shape of a rod. This rod-shaped organelle is called the mitochondria. Inside the mitochondria, the process of respiration takes place, which means that food is turned into energy. This energy will power up all the activities of your body. And then, inside the cell, we also have these interconnected membranes. These membranes are called endoplasmic reticulum, but you just need to write ER in your exam. Now, there are two types of ER. This is called a rough ER because it has the small dots on it. The rough ER is used for making proteins. These proteins can be enzymes or antibodies. The fancy name for making proteins is called protein synthesis. So rough ER is for protein synthesis. The protein is actually made on these small dots called the ribosome. Sometimes they don't lie on the rough ER, but they can be found in the cytoplasm. Now next, the other type of ER is called smooth ER, which does not have the dots. It's used for making lipids. Finally, inside some animal cells, sometimes there are these small sacs which are filled with fluid. They are called vacuoles. In animal cells, we don't have that many vacuoles, but in plant cells, they have a very big one that takes up the center of the cell. The mitochondria, ER, vacuole, as well as the ribosomes are all invisible under the light microscope. This means that if you use the microscope in the biology lab and observe a cell, you cannot see any of these organelles.